Hello students, this is KM Prasad. Today we are discussing the subject database management systems. Now, in that database management systems, we are in the unit 3. Now, this is the first video on unit 3. In that unit 3, we are discussing relational model. What is actually the entity relational model, etc. Relational model we are discussing. Now this is entity relationship model. This is a lecture 1 of the unit 3. Here the topics which are available in this one is design process, modeling, constraints, ER diagrams, design issues, weak entity sets, extended ER features, design of the bank database, reduction to relational schemas. Now coming to the first topic here. The first topic is the database design. Now this is very important. If you perform any operations on the database, first of all the database must be available. We have to design the database. After designing the database only we can perform any number of operations or set of things. Database design is a collection of processes that facilitate the designing, development, implementation and maintenance of enterprise database management systems. Now coming to the properly designed database are easy to maintain. If you design the database properly, the database is very easy to maintain. And comes to improvement, data consistency and are cost effective in terms of disk storage space. In terms of storage also, it is very cost effective compared to the normally designed systems. Now the database designer decides how the data elements correlate with what data must be stored. Now here the correlation or the relation between the data items are very important. By using that relation, we are going to prepare all the things. Now coming to the modeling concept. A database can be modeled as a collection of entities, relationship among entities. Now set of entities are there and then we are performing some relationship between those entities. Here comes to an entity. An entity is an object that exists and is distinguishable from other objects. It is an object. It contains some set of attributes also. By using that attributes or by using that set of objects, we are creating the database. For example, specific person, company, event, plant, etc. Now coming to the entities have attributes. Every entity is having some set of attributes. Now, for example, people have names and addresses. For example, if you are taking a student name is there, roll number is there, some set of marks are performed. If you take it as a company, the company name is there, what type of expenditure it is taking, how many employees are there, what type of products it is producing, etc. Now coming to an entity set is a set of entities of the same type that share the same properties. For example, if you are taking an entity, for example, student, every class contains some set of students or set of persons are there in a company or set of companies are there up to the type. Now this is about the entity set. Here entity sets, customer and loan. Just for that here we are going to prepare a bank database here. For that purpose we are taking entity sets customer and loan here. Here The left side of this one is the customer. It contains some customer ID or something, some name we are taking, the address we are performing, and some set of name we are taking. This just a city name or something, or first name, second name, something we are taking. Just comes to the loan number, and how much amount of loan they are taking. Now coming to the relationship sets. If the database contains some set of entities, we are providing the relationship between those entities, the relationship. Now it is called as a relationship, and the relationship also contains some sets. That is called as a relationship set. For example, customer is there and some accounts are there. If the customer created an account in a bank, that creates the relationship between customer and account. Now this is called as deposit. If the customer is there and the loans are there, if the customer taken loan from the particular account, particular bank, means now we are creating the relationship between the customer and the loan. Now those are called as the relationship sets. Now coming to here, a relationship is an association among several entities. Now coming to the example, here has some set of depositor is there and then some account is there. Customer account, and he created a deposit in that particular account, particular thing, means that account or relationship between the account, that account and the customer. And coming to the next one is relationship set borrower. Some borrower we are taking, or loan we are called as borrower or loan or something. Here some customer is there, here a loan is there. Now just we are creating particular customer taking particular loan, particular customer is taking particular loan, or etc. Now some many number of things are there. They are taking the customers, that means loans as well as something. Now coming to the relationships continuation also here. An attribute can also be properly some property of a relationship set. Here also we are taking some attribute that is the actual property of the relationship. For instance, the depositor relationship set between entity sets customer and an account may have the attribute access date. When at what time they accessed something, or they accessed, or they created a loan or access to the loan or something. Now coming to this one, here it is the relationship is there. Particular customer created a loan or access to the loan in a particular date. Now here date is the relationship set or relationship. Now many number of dates are there. Those are called as the relationship sets. Here the first one is the customer, and then here is the loan that creates the two entities are there, and then we are creating the entity set. That is the entity set is called as the access date. Next comes to the degree of a relationship set. Some set of different types of relationships are there, and some degrees of relationships are there. How many members, how many entities we are joining, or we are concatenating or creating the relationship between how many set of entities. That is called as degree. Total number of entity sets that participate in a relationship is called as the degree. Here, the relationship sets that involve two entity sets are binary. Now already we know about what is actually the binary means. Binary, it contains two. If two entity sets are involving in a relationship, that the degree of that one is, that is also called as two as well as binary. It is called as binary relationship, binary degree. Now comes to the relationship sets that involve three entity sets are called as a ternary. Already in C programming language also we are taking the operator like a ternary operator that contains three statements, more than two statements. Here three statements. Now if the relationship involves three different sets, that is called as the ternary. Now coming to the generally, most relationship sets in a database system are binary. Maximum we are manipulating or we are involving the binary relationships only. A relationship sets may involve more than two entity sets. That is called as now coming to the attributes. An entity is represented by a set of attributes. Every entity, already we discussed about attributes. Every entity set is having set of attributes. For example, customer. Customer contains some set of attributes. Customer is formed. Customer entity is formed. Customer ID, customer name, customer street, customer city, etc. Now, all called as the attributes. Now coming to the domain, the set of permitted values for each attribute, that is called as domain. For example, if you are taking an SBI in Andhra Pradesh or SBI in Andhra Pradesh and Telangana, now how many number of branches are there for the SBI? Now how many number of union banks are there, or how many number of some other banks are there? That specifies the domain. For example, if a branch contains some set of customers, now that is called as the customer domain. Now continuation, attributes continuation, attribute types. Now you can specify, you can store different types of data in a attributes. Single and composite attribute. Now you can call different types of attributes here, single attributes as well as composite attributes. Now coming to the single valued and multi-valued attributes, and also called as single values as well as multi-valued. Now example, multi-valued attributes, phone numbers. Derived attributes, we can derive some set of attributes from the another attributes, can be computed from other attributes. These are prepared from other attributes. For example, age, given, date of birth, etc. Now date of birth comes from particular person or particular employee or something. Some age also comes from the particular thing. Those are derived from the another attributes. Now comes to the composite attributes. Now here comes to the composite attributes here. Name, main attribute is the name. From that name, first name, middle name and last name. All the combination of first name, middle name and last name will form the name. Now coming to the address. Address is formed from the street, city, state, postal code. The combination of street, city, state and postal code will form the address. Now coming to the street. The street is formed based on the street number, street name and apartment number, etc. All of the combination of these three will form the street. Now this is about the composite or component attributes. Now coming to the mapping cardinality constraints. Some cardinality constraints we are taking. Here we are expressing some set of attributes to which other entity can be associated via a relationship. Here entities are combined or entities are represented in association with the other relationship or via relationship set. Most useful in describing binary relationships. These are entity sets or cardinalities are very, very important in binary relationships. For a binary relationship set, the mapping cardinality must be one of the following types. Here, how we are mapping one relationship that is one entity to the another entity. Here, that mapping specifies the constraints or something relationship, how we are relating. Now here, these four types of mapping cardinalities are available. Those are one-to-one, one-to-many, many-to-one, and many-to-many. Here, one-to-one means one person is having one account only. Now coming to the one-to-many, one person is having many number of accounts. Now many-to-one, many number of customers sharing only one account, contain only one account. Now many to many. One person is having many number of accounts and one account is shared by the many number of customers. Now these are called as the mapping constraints. These are very important one. One to one, one to many to one, many to many, etc. Now this is what the example for the mapping cardinalities here. The first one is one to one. Here AB we are taking entities A1, B1, A2, B2, A3, B3 and A4, B4. Now coming to the this one, second one to many. A1 contains B1 and B2. A2 contains B3 and B4. Now A3 is B5. Now coming to the mapping cardinalities here. Another mapping cardinalities comes under the another mapping cardinalities, that is many to one and many to many. Here comes to the many to one. In A1 and A2 are related to the B1. Now coming to the next one, A3 is related to the B2. A4, A5 related to the B3. That is many to one, many to one. In B side only one is there. In A side we are taking many. Now coming to the final one, many to many. Here A1 contains B1 and B2 and B1 is shared with the A1 and A2. Now coming to the A3 contains B3, B4 and B3 is shared by A3 and A4. A3 and A4. Now this is about the mapping cardinalities here. This is the, with that we are discussing the what is actually the relationship sets, what are the entity sets, what is an entity, what is an attribute, and then coming all the things. Here are different types of mapping cardinalities we are taking. These are also very important one. The mapping cardinalities specifies how with the one relationship or one entity to the another entity, and the relationship is also contains some set of attributes. Now in that one we are taking the access date is the another one. By using the access date we are joining these two things. Now with this one we discussed, we started with some of the concepts in unit 3. Those are the entity relationship model. This is very important one to design the database. After designing the database only we are going to prepare any type of operations based on any programming language or any structured query language. Now this is about the first lesson of the unit 3.